Hey everyone, first video of the year, and I didn't expect it to be about this. You already know by the title of this video, but I tested positive to COVID-19 at the end of March, literally March 31st, the last day of the month. But that's not why I haven't been uploading for months. I just was working a lot on a Netflix show for like 6 months maybe. I got it at work, and I filmed a little when I had COVID, because right now I am fine. I don't have any symptoms, but I documented a little of what it was like having COVID, and it's different for every single person, but keep in mind, I'm already gonna explain how I got it in a clip that I'm gonna show, but basically I just want to say that I am triple vaxxed, 3 Pfizer dose. I filmed or documented my first 2 doses for sure. I don't even remember if I made a video about my 3rd dose for my YouTube channel. I legit do not remember. Like, that's how much shit's going on in my life. Like, I don't remember YouTube stuff that I filmed or whatsoever. I'll show you some clips of what happened when I tested positive. 3 years later, after the pandemic started, after 3 dose of Pfizer vaccine, I tested positive for COVID-19. There's a new variant happening right now. I don't know what it's called, what its name, and frankly I don't give a shit what's the name of the variant. I tested positive for COVID-19. I won't go into much details of what happened, how I got it. The only thing I'm gonna say is I got it from work. Someone tested positive and had to leave immediately, and 2 days later, after I've learned that they tested positive, today I started to have a sore throat, a headache, decided to do the testing at home, and I'll put a picture right here, but I tested positive for COVID-19, and it sucks. Like, right now my throat is doing a little better, and it's only the first day. Like, I don't know what the rest of the quarantine is going to be like. Is it gonna get worse? Is it gonna stay the same? But here in Quebec right now, I have to quarantine for 5 days. Don't have any symptoms. My quarantine is over. And the thing is, I'm going to Mexico as I'm filming this Thursday next week, and my quarantine is ending on Tuesday next week. So my trip that I planned a month in advance could get canceled because of my positive test from work. And I'm just gonna be chilling in my room, quarantining in my room. It fucking sucks. I was supposed to go to the movie theaters to go watch Morbius. I'll have to call Cineplex to cancel my ticket and get a refund. And and I also have to cancel maybe a haircut appointment. Oh my god. But if I still have symptoms after 5 days and I test positive, I'm gonna have to stay quarantined for another 5 days. So if my trip gets canceled, I get a credit and I can use it to go on another trip later this year. But really, it sucks to have COVID-19. Like, I'm fine for a little, but I'm staying in my room away from everyone, and I had to call every single person I've been in contact with in the last 2 to 3 days, because 2 days ago is when I was in contact with someone who got COVID. And yeah, it is what it is. I'll document the process of living with COVID-19. So it's day 1 of my quarantine, 5 days, only 5 days. And like I said, if I don't have any symptoms, I can leave the house. But during the night, I slept well, but at 2 a.m. I woke up, or I didn't wake up. I was like having this huge headache. My throat was really dry, my nose was dry. I tried to sleep through it, but I couldn't. So I woke up, went to the bathroom, drank some water, took some Tylenols, and went back to sleep, but it was painful. It's not like the worst time that I've been sick, but it sucks, and I definitely have COVID. Right now I have a fever, and I have a sore throat since yesterday. Like, it's not going anywhere so far, and sometimes I'm fine with the headaches, like I don't have one, or later on in the day I have it. So like today I just, chilled. It's probably what I'm gonna do. Yesterday I did my laundry, did some cleaning a little, and I played some Nintendo Switch, which I haven't played in such a long time because I was working a lot. But yeah, I just hope that I'm alright after 5 days, and that I can still go to Mexico, because that would just fucking suck if I had to stay quarantined after 5 days. So I hope everything's alright. And yeah, still chilling. Have a fever, a sore throat, and a headache, so not too bad, but it still sucks. On day 3 of my quarantine, and my mom just tested positive for COVID-19. She started to get symptoms, so we're both gonna have to quarantine, but since she got it 2 days after or 3 days after I tested positive, I won't have a choice but to be quarantined for like more than the time needed if I don't have any symptoms. It just sucks. So because of this, my trip to Mexico is canceled. Imagine being negligent and ruining other people's plan. Can't relate. I won't say much about this, but yeah, I'm pissed that my trip's canceled, and I won't go into much details, but I'm fucking pissed. I'm pissed for real. Like, it fucking sucks. We're already looking at booking the trip later this month because I'm probably gonna be working in May, but trips are getting more expensive later on in April, so probably might not be able to go to Mexico this month. So I'm fucking pissed. It sucks. Only filmed like the day that I tested positive, my first day in quarantine and my 3rd day in quarantine. But yeah, since I tested positive in the afternoon, they told me, Info Santé told me that my quarantine would start the next day. So my quarantine started on April 1st. April Fools, ha ha ha. But yeah, the first 2 to 3 days I was quarantined in my room, still living with my mother, and I was mostly in the basement. My room's in the basement, and at the basement to myself. But it's getting boring when you can't really get out, and when I would go upstairs, I would have to put on my masks and always wash my hands. But as you saw in the clips that I showed, my mother tested positive for COVID-19, and yeah, everyone in my family got COVID, not at the same time, but I got it, my mom got it, my dad got it, my sisters got it, my grandmother got it, my cousins got it. Almost everyone that I know got COVID. So like, yeah, I'm pretty lucky that I didn't get any big symptoms. Like I said, I had like a sore throat, and basically I didn't really explain in the clips what happened. Basically, the morning, like on March 31st, I had to bring back a key to the studio I was working with, and I had my sore throat, and I was like, why do I have a sore throat? I'll just take some Halls and it'll go away. And it did get away. And as I'm heading to Montreal to the studio, my throat is still hurting. It's sore, it's dry. And when I went to get the key, when I went to give the key back to the production, I started to get a headache and my nose was leaking like gross. And that's when I was telling myself, yeah, I probably have COVID, so I'm gonna fucking leave as soon as possible back home and test myself. And thank God I tested myself when I got back home. I almost did it the day after, but I was like, now I have a headache, a sore throat, my nose is leaking all at the same time, so I'll just test myself right now. And I tested positive. Like, the 2 lines appeared immediately. Worst day was the first day of quarantine. Like I said, I barely slept, a huge headache, my throat was really dry. And also maybe day 2 or day 3, at one point, like, I had to drink water non-stop because I just couldn't like bear the soreness. It would fucking hurt, like, not like, I need to go to the hospital type of shit, but it was painful and annoying. So at one point I was drinking water over and over non-stop. And it's mostly around day 4 and 5 things started to slow down. Now my snot, I'm getting graphic, my snot would go in my throat and I would cough fucking snot, and it was fucking gross. But after day 5, no symptoms at all. I would cough a little, but they told me it would be normal. Because one of my sisters, when she tested positive, she coughed for like a month, non-stop coughing after she tested positive. And I got lucky. If I didn't get vaccinated, I would probably be in the hospital right now. And there's a lot of people that say, the vaccine. What's the point of getting vaccinated if you're still gonna get COVID? Bitch. If you're not vaccinated and you get COVID, depends on every single person, but majority of people that are not vaccinated and that got COVID are in the hospital. I'm glad I got vaccinated and that I only had these small symptoms, because my sisters that only have 2 doses of the vaccine, they got it hard, even with 2 doses. Imagine if they had the 3rd dose, probably would have had the same experience as I had. I'm glad it only lasted 5 days, but I still stayed at home because the government says, oh, after 5 days, if you don't have a fever, which I only had a fever for 1 day, if you don't have a fever, no symptoms, you can head back to work, head back to living life, but you have to wear a mask and keep distance. It's mostly for going back to work that it's 5 days now, but I did my last day before I tested positive, so I wasn't working and I'm still not working for the moment. Since my mom tested positive, I didn't really want to get out of the house and go hang out with friends or whatsoever, because you're still contagious for 10 days when you test positive. So it's been 10 days and I'm completely fine. My mom's healing. That was my experience with COVID-19, and I never thought I would get it. It's nuts. 3 years later, triple vaxxed, and I got it. So anyone can have it, and I urge you, if you're still not vaccinated, please go get your first 2 doses of the vaccine. If you want to get a 3rd dose, go for it. You don't have to, but at least get 2 doses to protect yourself and others. I hope it educates or it shows people to do the right thing, get the vaccine, stop saying vaccinated or not, it doesn't matter getting the vaccine. If you're not vaccinated and you have COVID, you're probably going to the hospital. And the thing is, in my opinion, people that don't want to get vaccinated is because they're scared of needles. That's what I fucking think. You're scared of needles and you're too much of a pussy to admit it. But that's just me. That's just me. But yeah, I'll stop rambling and end this video right here. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can follow me on my social medias that will be in the description down below. Turn on the bell for notifications if I even post. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
Guys, I just tested positive for COVID-19. No, that means I won't do my public singing challenges.